Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are cleaning house. And what I mean by that is we are doing a declutter video, and this is the first time I've done a declutter video here on my channel. So if you like those types of videos, definitely hit the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up because it really does help out my channel. So as surprising as it is, I have actually never decluttered my personal makeup collection, which is probably a combination of astonishing and gross, because you will see some items in here are 10, 12, almost 15 years old. And no, I do not use them. I have not used them for years and years and years. So if you want to see what I'm decluttering, then keep on watching. So because my bin here is so massive, I can barely lift it, I will not be able to share every single item and shade name with you guys because you guys would be here for hours and hours. But I do want to pick out quite a few key items and kind of tell you why I am decluttering them. So first I'm going to start with the Dior Dream Skin Fresh and Perfect Cushion Foundation. It looks like this. And the first couple times I used it, I did enjoy it, but the more I used it, the more it just wasn't for me. I really liked the packaging and the formula. It just wasn't enough coverage for me. So I am actually donating this. I've only used it a couple times, and I do have the other refill right here. I am somebody that has dark spots and pigmentation, and I just wanted like a little bit more coverage. I did try it with concealer, and it became too many steps to make it work, if that makes sense. So I am going to be donating this one. Now with some of these items, the items that I either haven't used or have barely used, I do donate to women and families in need. And then the stuff that is just expired and old, I toss. So some of these items in my bin here are going to be separated. There's going to be a donation pile and a trash pile. And the next item is this iconic Chanel Lay Beige, and it is a cream bronzer, and it's marketed to give you kind of that healthy glow. And I love this, I do, but I just wish it had a bit more pigmentation. They did have another darker one, so I may try and grab that one to give that one a try, but this one is just too light for my skin. So if you have a skin tone that's lighter than me, maybe try this. It's not a really pigmented, it's just a healthy glow. All right, so let's jump into a couple palettes. And the first palette is just kind of like a makeshift palette. This is a Z palette that I created myself. There are so many shades in here, I can't even remember the names, but most of them are MAC shadows and then a couple of Veda shadows, I think. This, hold on, this just shattered, so let me throw that out before it makes a mess. But this palette right here was one of the first freelance palettes that I ever created. I did used to freelance, and I just don't use it. I don't reach for it just because a lot of the stuff in my kit I either got rid of, or a couple items like shadow palettes I kept just in case, but I haven't even opened this, touched it in probably 8 years. So this one is going goodbye. The next two palettes are both from Coastal Scents, and if you guys have watched beauty YouTube videos for 10, 12 plus years, then you probably remember how hot Coastal Scents used to be. And they looked like this. This was their neutral palette, the Warm 88 palette. And I really liked it back in the day, but again, I haven't reached for it in many, many years. And then I also ended up picking up their 88 Ultra Shimmer eyeshadow palette. So this is what the palette looks like. It is really, really beautiful, but this one is going as well. This palette right here was a Tarte holiday palette from geez, like many years ago. I want to say maybe 10 plus years ago. It was the first Tarte product I ever picked up, and I did use it quite a bit back in the day, but again, I just don't use it and it's taking up a lot of space. The color story itself is really pretty, but I'd rather donate it or toss it because I just don't use it. And then I do also have a couple more Z palettes. This just has 2 shadows in it, and this was my kind of purplies and pink shades. And if you guys remember from back in the day, it was such a hot thing to depot your eyeshadows and put them into palettes like this. I feel like back then, if you had a Z palette, you were like in it to win it. Like Z palettes were such a bougie thing. I feel like if you had a Z palette, you were just cool. But I use these for freelance, and I did love them because the whole bottom was magnetic, so they just all stuck on there like that. And if you are a freelance artist now and you have a bunch of single shadows, definitely look at the Z palettes. They hold up really well. I've never had any of my shadows get damaged, but I'm not freelancing anymore, and it's time to let this stuff go. So the next group of items that I am decluttering are all of my Rockin Republic lip glosses. They came in so many shades, and I remember back in the day when Hot Look would have these incredible sales of beauty stuff and, you know, clothing and fashion. And they had Hot Look on there one day, and I went on and literally bought every single makeup product. I do still have the powder eyeshadows and blushes and bronzers in my drawers back here, but I just don't use them. I just couldn't part with them just yet, but all of the glosses had to go because they are just turning, as you can see, like they're separating. They're so old. I think I bought these when I was probably 18 and I'm 30 now, so it's been several years. The other thing I am getting rid of is all of my MAC Cosmetics lip products. All of the lipsticks, the lip glosses, the cream sheens, the everything. It is all old. I used to be one of those people that would buy the whole MAC collection every time it launched. Payday on a Friday, I would go and just buy the entire collection, whether I was going to use the colors or not, because I felt like back in the day, MAC was almost like a collector's item. So everything that they kind of put out was limited edition, and it was kind of a trend or a thing to go and collect these limited edition stuff or items. But now that I'm getting older, I don't want junk in my life. I don't want to hold on to things just because they're limited edition, and especially when they are starting to just get disgusting like that. It's time to let it go. So all of my cream sheen glasses, what are these ones? These are the Dazzle Glass. The colors are gorgeous, but it's to the point where it's not even sanitary, healthy to even try and use them. I have a bunch of these Dare to Wear lip glosses as well. So those are all getting tossed. I would say there's probably close to 200 MAC Cosmetics lip products in here. I even have what are these? They are the tint lip conditioners. I don't even remember when these launched, but I have several of these. Those are all getting tossed. And back in the day, I ended up getting a MAC Pro card, which meant you had access to all of their professional products. And I picked up almost every color of their chroma line. And there's little pots like this. I have orange, and this one is a blue, and I'm tossing them all. There's probably about 20 or so different colors here. They're all getting tossed. They're all so dried out. It is disgusting. And they don't even transfer. It's just time to let these things go. And I don't know if you guys remember when MAC really pushed their paint pots, like that was the eye primer to use, was Painterly or Soft Ochre. Everybody used them. It didn't matter what color skin tone you had, you used one of those two. And I remember when they launched these colored ones or shimmery ones, and I just thought they were so cool, and I would always try and use them even though they always creased on me and ended up looking terrible within 30 minutes to an hour. I still rocked it. I don't know why anybody let me, but I have several of them, and you can see they're just all dried out and disgusting, but the colors are beautiful. So the next items that I am tossing are my weird shaped beauty blenders, the ones that are not the traditional beauty blender form. I don't use them. I don't reach for them. They just sit there day after day, year after year. I just like the classic sponge shape. I don't like all the weird shapes. I don't find them easy to work with. So those are all getting tossed as well. And then also this foundation, the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. This is getting tossed. Not only is it old, but I just really didn't enjoy it. I know it was such a hot and raved about foundation, but it just didn't work for me. And the problem that I have with a lot of drugstore foundations is I am in neutral undertone, like true neutral. And every time I go and grab a drugstore foundation that is neutral, it's never neutral. It's either more pink or more yellow. It's never a true neutral, so it never matches. And it oxidizes weird, and it's honestly such a headache. And I think that's why I just stay clear from drugstore foundations and concealers. But if you're somebody that uses drugstore anything and you know of a good foundation that is actually a true neutral, please let me know down in the comments, because I've tried more than I can even count, and I've never found one that is a true neutral undertone, so please let me know. This next item is from Maybelline, and it is their iconic concealer, the Instant Age Rewind Eraser. And I love the whole concept of this concealer, but to be honest, I just don't reach for it. It's not as full coverage as I would like. I know I can build it up, but I'm kind of like one of those one step kind of people. I don't want to have to constantly go back and adjust and things like that, because in the mornings I just don't have time for that. And so even though I liked this concealer, I just didn't reach for it. So it is in the declutter box. So this next item is another concealer. It is by e.l.f. It is the 16-hour wear camo concealer. And why I did like this one, once again, I just didn't reach for it, and I can't keep holding on to things I'm not going to use. So that one went. And same with this Essence Camouflage Matte Concealer. I did like it, but again, it wasn't something that wowed me and that I reached for all the time. So this is getting tossed. Next up, I have another palette. This one is from Urban Decay, and I can tell you that I have not purchased any items from Urban Decay since the launch of their Naked 3 palette, I believe. So it's been a long time. This is their Smoked Urban Decay palette. I think I got this as a gift one year, but it looked like this, and it's this color story. So definitely dark and smoky. The shimmer shades are really pretty, but I don't know. I got bored of Urban Decay. I think that's what it was, because back in the day, they were always pushing their liners and their naked palettes, and it was such a hot brand for such a hot minute that I don't know. I just feel like I got burnt out from the brand. And I honestly haven't purchased anything from the brand since. So I don't know, we'll see. So the next group of items I'm getting rid of are all of my Nars shadows or blushes or bronzers, anything that is in their iconic packaging like this. And the only reason I'm tossing them is because whatever their product containers are sprayed with or finished with, where I live, it's really hot. So the film that was on these products melted, and now the whole packaging is sticky, which is why I'm kind of holding on to it with 2 fingers. And it's gross. So it's just time to let it go. And another one that is very similar to that is the old school Kat Von D. Let me see. This one is very sticky. It is so disgusting, so that's why I have a towel, but it's her old school Kat Von D palettes that she first launched in Sephora. I have this one, which was the True Love palette, which I believe was all of the purple shades. And then look at, you can see how sticky it is. Like it's literally sticking to the napkin. Nasty. The next group of items I am decluttering are a lot of my nail polishes. So as you can probably tell, I don't do my nails at home. Yes, I paint my toes, but I have certain colors that I like on my toes, and these are kind of not it. I do like white, but this one's just, it's done. It's died. So a lot of the nail polishes I have, I'm just tossing. They're old. I don't do my nails, so there's no point in having them, and it frees up a lot of space in my Alex drawers. And these also, I'm getting rid of all of my NYX Single Eyeshadows, and the main reason is because they take up a lot of space. I remember I was probably 17 or 18, and on Black Friday, NYX had a 50% off sale on their entire website, and I went on and purchased literally almost everything that was in stock. So for me, I have about 4 or 5 drawers of eyes and cheeks and lip products, and they're all NYX. So I need to free up some space. I don't use them. So stuff like this, I'll probably donate. But one thing I noticed when I was cleaning out my drawers was the fact that brands don't do single shadows anymore. I remember way back in the day, you could only buy single shadows. It was kind of a really big deal, or it was really special if a brand launched a palette. And palettes usually came out around the holiday times. And the big thing was you buy all these single shadows, you store them, or you depot them and put them in palettes. And nowadays it's all changed. Almost every brand launches a palette and rarely has single shadows. So that was kind of an interesting realization that I came to when I was cleaning out my drawers. The next item I have are these lashes from Kiss. They are in the style bustier, and they look like this. They are really gorgeous lashes, and actually I learned to apply false lashes with this exact style and brand. I worked it over and over again until I finally got the hang of it, and then I upgraded to better quality lashes, if you will, and I've never looked back. I have tried to apply Kiss lashes again, and they just don't stay on my eyes. They pop off, and the band is kind of plasticky. So I don't know how I survived in the beginning, but it was definitely a good way to learn. But I just have my favorite lashes now, and I never get these, so I wanted to donate them. I also have a bunch of samples in here too of things that I just haven't used. And this is the YSL All Hours foundation. I actually own this in a full size bottle. I do love it. So all of the samples that are in my bin are ones that I'm just either, I already own the product, or they're not my shade or color, or they're not something I'm gonna use. So I am donating all of those so that way they can go to somebody in need. Not all of them come in these like literal sample sizes. A lot of them are things like this, where they are they came in kits or something like that. So those are all going as well. So a few more things to share with you guys. First up is the Jeffree Star Lip Velours. I also have a couple Jeffree Star lip liners in here, and I am just not somebody who cares for the Jeffree Star Cosmetics brand. It's nothing to do with him personally. It's just for me, I find the products and the formulas to be very drying. I do have dry skin, whether it be on my face or my lips. And anytime I put his stuff on, I feel like it dries my skin out even more. And I do have one of the palettes from him, and I did try it, and it just seems to be chalky or dry. I don't know if it's just me or the items that I picked up, but I just feel his stuff to be very drying. So all of my Jeffree Star cosmetics I am donating. The next group are all of my Nye products. I used to have a huge collection of Nye from when I was freelancing, and I still love the brand. I don't think people really remember the Nye brand unless you are kind of in special effects or doing movies or anything like that. But they are a phenomenal makeup brand, and these are just being tossed because they're old. But I do love a lot of their products, and when I was doing my decluttering, I actually forgot about the brand until I found some of their stuff. So now I kind of want to go back and pick up some of their stuff to try it again and see what's new with the brand. The next item are these lip glosses from Essence. They are the extra, extra, extra large shine lip gloss. I have probably about 12 or so of these in here, all different colors. I love, love, love their lip glosses, and the fact that they're super affordable. I think they're $2 or $3. I am throwing my whole collection out, honestly, because they are old. I purchased these when I was still in high school, so probably 17, maybe 18. So they are just way, way, way overdue. So they just need to be tossed. They are gross. And the last one is another Nars thing. It is the Guy Bourdon face palette. I can't even remember when this thing came out, but I don't use it anymore, and the packaging is just sticky and gross. So that is getting tossed as well. So that is basically the entire contents of my box right here without going through every single little thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. If you have any recommendations for videos, you're always welcome to leave them down in the comments, since I do read all of my comments and respond to everybody. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.